I deserve whatever I get in this situation. I made the dumbest move ever. Back in 2017, I experienced severe range anxiety on a few occasions. The first time that I went through it, well, it has been a crazy night. I really pushed this vehicle. My goal that day was to basically make it from start to finish without recharging the vehicle, just to see what I could truly get out of a full 257 miles of projected range. On the 5th trip, I knew that I was going to have some trouble, and I looked everywhere to find a charger that would be close to the airport, but no dice. So I decided just to go for it. I had heard that you could drive about 20 miles or so once you ran out of projected range. I didn't get to find out because as I was driving back, the car was making so many alerts that my passengers had just gotten to the point to where it was stressing them out so bad. And fortunately, they lived very close to the Decatur Service Center. So we get to the intersection there, and you can see the big Tesla sign and everything, and they're like, so let's get this straight. You have 0 range, but you think you can make it to our house, and there's a Tesla supercharger right here in front of us. And I said, yeah. And they said, pull over. Go into the supercharger. Really, we don't want to walk. So I did, and I said, just give me 4 minutes. I really think 4 minutes is all we need. I plugged up, and at this point I was super embarrassed. And we sat there, and I literally watched the clock for 4 minutes, and I had I don't know, I can't remember if I put about 20 some odd miles of range back on the battery. So I had plenty, I got it out of the red. So it was just enough to get it out of the red, and I said, look, your home is only like 2.5 to 3 miles away. We're gonna make it now. Or if you're comfortable, I'm comfortable. And they said, yeah. So I went on and took them on home, and then of course I had to turn right back around and come back to that supercharger and sit there in the dark for a good bit of time while I waited to have a sufficient enough charge before heading home. My next taste of range anxiety came on August 3rd. This one was ultra dramatic. I had been pushing it once again, trying to see how much I could do on one charge, and just as I finally had said, okay, enough is enough, let me charge the car up real quick and then take it back home. We had dinner guests coming over and everything, and just as I was approaching the supercharger to do that, I get a text message from a client of mine, and he said, I just landed. And I was like, what? And I think by the time I picked him up, I had somewhere in the ballpark of maybe 7 to 10 miles of projected range. Now, once again, I could not film any of this stuff as it was going on until I got him out of the car. So we start out, we make it through downtown Atlanta, and by the time we get to midtown Atlanta, I am at 0. I have 0 range. We are coming up on the Atlantic Station supercharger, and he's like, do you think we're gonna make it? And I said, yeah, we're probably gonna make it. I don't think I'm gonna make it back, but we'll make it. He's like, good, because I really want to go home. So he was not like the other people. He really wanted to just go home. He was not interested in waiting at the supercharger, and quite frankly, I don't blame him. These guys come off these long business trips, they just want to go home. So anyway, we make it. At this point, I think I'd probably driven somewhere around 6 miles or a little bit better on 0. So we get there, and he says, look, I'm really worried. Why don't you let me follow you? You should go over to Lennox and charge up the car. I don't need you to follow me, man. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna be positive I'm gonna make this trip. So I get back on the road, and I'm going, and as you push it to the limit, this thing really starts sounding off. It starts making, it sounds off alerts like left and right, and you get the warnings on the screen, and it is just like, you better plug this car up. You are about to run. It's pretty crazy. Like, the car definitely doesn't go to sleep on you. It's not like an idiot light in a gasoline car where the light comes on. I know some cars that, you know, like Cadillacs and stuff I've driven, they'll start sounding off, making a lot of noise when you're in dire need to refuel the car. So anyway, I keep pushing, and I'm getting close. I'm closing in, you know, 4 miles out, 3 miles out, 2.5 miles out, and then this happens. Do this. If I can pull this off, I am so close. If I can make this, I will. I'll be very happy. I'm doing everything I can to try to make it. I have friends coming over for dinner. I've got the windows down. I never ride with the windows down. Here we go. Will I make it? Stay tuned. And it looks like I can't make it. Shit. Yeah, that was it. It had finally happened. I ran out, and I gotta tell you, it was not fun. This nightmare was not over, because it was gonna take quite a while to get back up and running. So I call Tesla and I say, I've run out of power. Can you help me? Well, you don't have roadside on this vehicle. I'm like, really? I don't have roadside? I mean, I like checked every box, and, you know, of course, except for performance and all that. And like, what do you mean I don't have? I thought I would have some kind of coverage. And they said, nope. And I said, and then she was giving me the price, and I really don't remember how much it was, but it wasn't cheap to get towed out of there. And I was like, you know what? I have AAA. Let me call them. And they said, yeah, that's fine. Call AAA. Just make sure they pick you up on a flatbed truck. I'm like, whatever. Like, I'm gonna use my AAA. My God, I never use it. So AAA said, oh yeah, we can help you out, but where are you? And I'm trying to explain to this person where I'm at, and I'm like, can't you, like, it's like driving me nuts, because I'm trying so hard to explain to this person, and we are on the phone literally for over 30 minutes. And after that time, I said, look, here we are 30 plus minutes into this. We are no closer to getting a vehicle, like a tow truck out here to get me, and I am pinned on the side of this connector, and I really want to get out of here. Like, you've got to put someone more competent on the phone. Like, my patience had run out. I said, I really don't like being mean to you right now, but I need someone who knows what's up. And she's like, well, I'm trying to help you. I said, you know what? Here's the deal. I am going to hop over this wall and run down this hill over to this nearby Shell station. I'm going to give you the address. Can you do that? And she's like, please don't do that. Don't jump over the wall. That's dangerous. I'm like, can you do that? Can you bring someone to that location? My God. And she put me on hold, and I waited there for about maybe a minute or two, and I hung up. I was like, this person is just, she's not going to be able to help me. So I run down to the Shell station, and I get the address and everything, and I call them, and as a matter of fact, I actually got the address off the phone. I don't know what I'm thinking, but anyway, I went down there and said, listen, I'm at the Shell station. I'm no longer on the side of the highway. Send someone over here to get me. As soon as we get right back onto the highway, right here at the connector, you will see my vehicle. It'll be so easy. So come to the station. It took a few minutes, and I got someone who knew what they were doing, and they were able to send a tow truck out there. So there's my car, and I climbed over these 3 little walls, and if you don't recognize this, it's where the bridge collapsed on 85 here in Atlanta. But anyway, that's where I'm at, waiting for a tow truck, because they could not figure out how to get to me on that part of the highway. Go figure. So here I am, kind of ironic that I'm waiting at a gas station for someone to come tow my electric car, but it is what it is. I did this to myself. AAA, they delivered, so we're about to take off from here. Elevates the car, you don't have to put it in tow mode or any of that stuff. Pretty cool. So here we go. it is home now. I've plugged it in. This is why it's good to get the extra long cable, the 25-foot cable. And I am at 0. 5 hours. 5.5 hours. This whole ordeal took about right around 3 hours. So I was a little bit worn out and livid. Let's just say that my enthusiasm in being an EV owner in general, nothing against Tesla or anything, just that was a huge eye-opener for me, and I learned a huge lesson, because the point about all this is, first of all, just in case we've lost this in me telling my story, I blame this guy for what happened. I don't blame anyone else. I don't blame Tesla. I don't blame any makers of lithium-ion batteries. I don't blame AAA. I don't blame anyone. I only blame the man in the mirror. That's it. And picked it up from Glengarry Glen Ross. ABC. Always be charging, because if I always plugged up, I would never have any issues. So the big takeaway from this was that I need to always plug this car up. Like wherever I'm going right now, which is home, I will plug up the car, and that'll be the end of it. Anyway, I'm not going to push things anymore. I'm just not going to put myself through that kind of stress. It's not worth it. From that moment on, I said, I am never going to try anything again. I'm not going to try to stretch anything and see what I can get out of this battery. I know that I need to charge this thing every moment I can get, because there is not a charging station on every corner like there is a gasoline station on every corner. There just isn't. It's going to be many, many years until that happens. So wherever I go in this car, I know that I need to be plugging up no matter what. Even if I have 200 miles of projected range, I'm going to plug the car up and charge it back up to 90%. I am not playing around anymore. I'm really not. So that was the big takeaway from that. Yeah.
Okay.
So just for the record, Tesla, this just happened. I don't know how it happened. I didn't hit anything, but there you have it.